Welcome back to Brothers Fab and Adventure. Today we're working on the Safari off-road camper van for Mom.
Yeah, and we want it to be as reliable as possible. So the first thing that we're going to do is pull the drivetrain out.
Which could be a little interesting because it all drops out of the bottom and we don't have a lift or anything to hold it way up.
We're going to rebuild the motor and get the transmission rebuilt and swap in a regular four-wheel drive transfer case with a low range. We've also got to fix some other standard stuff like door handles and lift gates. We'll show you what we figure out. Maybe it'll help one of you guys do the same thing.
So we've never worked on one of these before.
We're going to kind of be figuring it out as we go. And I'd imagine a lot of this is pretty standard mechanic stuff, just taking stuff apart and gaining access to the things that need to come apart to get the thing out that you need to get out. But
we're pretty good at that, so
right.
It should go pretty easy.
Yeah, we may not film everything, but whatever we figure out in the process that might save you some time and effort, we'll definitely let you know. Pretty much, if we can do it, you can probably do it too.
Oh. Well, I guess that one wasn't tight either.
That thing just come off of there? You didn't loosen that?
No.
Wow.
No.
That's not good.
These hose clamps have been like finger tight, so that's not great.
Finding more goodness, taking the radiator fan shroud off here and the reservoir for the brake master cylinder just fell off there.
Seems safe, right?
Yeah.
It's good to go.
We've been busy getting after it and we made a pretty good amount of progress here. Unfortunately, we hadn't really got a lot of it on film, but we don't really have anybody to film for us, so it's the nature of the beast when you're trying to get stuff done.
I think we're about ready to get the motor out of there. So we'll do a quick rundown of what we had to do real quick. So on the top side here, we had to take the battery out, disconnect the hydro boost lines, the brake lines, the steering shaft here, the plugs going into the computer here, all the bolts that hold the harness on, and then the fan shrouds, radiator hoses,
the oil lines that go to the radiator.
Yep, the oil lines that go to the radiator, the AC lines, and
all the intake stuff back there. The throttle cable and the cruise control cable were in here. The clips were a little awkward to get to,
but they weren't too bad.
Not too bad. The shroud was kind of awkward to get out also. We also took the doghouse out of here, which gave us a little better access to some of the stuff on the back side of the motor. There's a look in at the doghouse and what you can gain access to there.
You mean the literal doghouse?
Yeah, the literal doghouse. Look, we got our helper dogs in here with us. As you can see, I got the rear drive shaft disconnected here. Hopefully I don't pull it out and drop it on my head. Here's the exhaust bolts that we broke. A lot of the plugs around the transfer case right here, they had a double clip on them, so that's kind of good to know. These like basically slide out of a keyed hole and then the clip can come out. Here's the fuel lines that I disconnected from the fuel filter here, and then I had to run them back through this body support here so that they can come out with the whole drivetrain there. There's a third line I haven't disconnected yet. I got to get that still. Something that we found out while we were working on all this is that our AC was disconnected. These lines back here are basically folded off flat, cut off and pinched. There's no compressor attached to the motor, so that actually made it a little easier for us. Over here we had the shift linkage, which was not too difficult to get out, and this threw me up for a little while, but Justin got it out. Screwdriver on both sides, push clip, that tripped me up. There's a plug that I missed here. I still need to disconnect. You can see there's a number of plugs up in here that I've already disconnected. I think there's maybe one more that I still need to get in there. I think there's two of them here that I still need to get right there and there. I'll also give a thorough check on reaching up on top of the transmission for any wiring up there. To get some of the wires that are right here, I think that I might need to take this plate off to gain access, which I've started to unbolt already, but it's hard to see everything that's up in here. O2 sensor there, and another one over here.
I think that's mainly it down here because it mostly all should drop out of there.
The fuel lines, to get them through the body right here, there was a clip that has to be pried open, this guy right there. And to get the last line out of it was a real bear, so you got to pry on it pretty good. You got to get these lines disconnected before we try to separate anything as well. There we go. Yep, good eye on that. And this should just slip out of there. Just getting it all chained up now so that we can lift the body off the engine and roll the drivetrain out. All in all, it hasn't been too bad though. Nothing too miserable about it or too confusing or difficult to figure out. We're just getting the subframe body mount bolts cracked loose here before we lower it back off of these ramps onto the ground and then detach it and lift the body up. So what we figured out is the back bolts are 18 millimeters, the middle bolts are 21 millimeters, and the front bolts are also 18 millimeters. So figured you might find that handy. Okay, try to get some dirt in my eye real quick.
Yeah, I was tightening them first and then loosening them.
Okay, the one that I did on the other side I was able to just loosen. Alright, that should be loose enough that we can get it.
I think that's good.
We just went ahead and disconnected all the bolts holding the subframe to the body, and now we're ready to go ahead and
separate the two and pull the motor out of the front and then support the body. Yeah, it's kind of
it's going to get complicated and sketchy, let's just say that. So we'll show you how it goes. We got the tires all chalked and everything so that things shouldn't move around while we're doing this. Just figured I'd let you know. Alright, so we're just going to go up a little bit at a time and check and make sure that we got everything disconnected so we don't rip anything that we might have missed on the way up. Things are separating. That's a good sign, I think. Maybe tires are coming off the ground. That's not such a good sign. Or are they?
No, they are.
What did we miss?
I don't know. Let's check.
Something big, it would seem like. Is the bumper attached to the subframe? That could make things even more interesting here. So the bumper is attached to the subframe apparently, and that's just not going to work. We got to figure out a new way to lift it. We got this reconfigured a different way that's not using the front bumper around the front core support. We'll see how it works. I don't know.
Starting to move a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, we're going. I think.
Move that horn, yeah.
Yeah, just keep going a little bit. I gotta say, it's kind of sketchy, but it seems to be working. Alright, should we check? We should probably check for, make sure we got everything disconnected that should be. At this point, we might be able to lower the back of the drivetrain down onto the ground instead of being on top of the jack. So one other thing that we got to do as we go up here is work the steering shaft off the gearbox. Might have to go up higher. Maybe aren't high enough yet.
Yeah, just good.
It looks like it should just kind of fall off of there pretty soon though. Jiggle it. There you go. Alright. We might have been able to disconnect that sooner. It had a lot of slip in it. Should we check it again? Yeah. Looks like we got a snag right there. That thing's getting hung up, but luckily we can detach it right here, I think. We happen to run into another snag. The bunch of the wiring that I was working to get undone apparently needed to be undone from the body. And I don't know about you guys, but I think this is how much it should be lifted. Just kidding. We're getting there. We got all that crap disconnected, so we're gonna...
That was rough.
It was real crappy. So yeah, now we're gonna keep taking it up and try to get it out of there. Up we go.
Alright, let's do another check.
Yeah, we're going to do another check and make sure nothing's hung up. I think we at least got a wire hung up. So.
I'm really hoping it's just smooth sailing.
We're almost there, just a few more inches. Fingers crossed it works out.
Oh, it's a little sketchy. Alright, that's good.
That's clear. We should be able to start pulling it out.
It looks dangerous.
This is actually what the lift should be like.
Oh no, I can't get up in there then.
Monster truck status.
No.
It is pretty. Here, back up a little bit.
No way.
Yeah. It's pretty.
I'm here.
I'm
here for scale. Look at where the friggin' headlights are.
That's how much room you need. It needs to
I feel
be.
like that would be monster truck status, but
The hood needs to be about 6 feet to drag that thing out of there. Alright, we got some wood under the cross member down here. So we're going to lower the cross member onto the ground so we can drag the whole thing straight out the front.
Yep. But before we drag it out, we'll make sure that we got the body secured so we can get the engine hoist out of the way. Yeah. Alright. Let's see it. Will it come out, or do we need to get some blocks under this side?
I'm not worried about it. It should.
So now we got Justin's truck with the winch on the front hooked up to this snatch block, hooked up to this old come along just for a way to attach it, because it's got this small hole here, this anchor, and that goes back to the van. So hopefully that'll work for pulling the drivetrain forward until we get about to the engine hoist. Then we can lower the whole body back down onto some secure stands where it's not a million feet into the air, and disconnect the engine hoist, get it out of the way, keep pulling the drivetrain in, and so it goes. So far so good. Keep coming, or do you see a snag?
I'm just making sure.
It is starting to turn a little bit that way. Let me see if I can reroute it to the other side of the bumper on the other side of the engine hoist here.
Okay.
Turns out it was actually this wheel chock that's making the vehicle turn, so idiots. And let's see if we can get it close enough to the engine hoist that we're clear of the back of the motor, then we can lower it down, then we're good. But yeah, we might have to take that bumper off. Couple inches, and yeah, we got like probably at least a foot here, so we do need to take that bumper off. We're gonna need every little bit. Yeah. But yeah, we could start lowering it down almost 6 inches at least here, yeah, if we want, but it doesn't seem that sketchy right now, so
No, it's not terrible.
we just got to get it to low enough to get the jack stands under it. As you guys saw, we got the whole drivetrain pulled out of this thing. And now it's time to get everything separated and all the fluids drained, and we can start tearing into the motor, send the transmission off to get rebuilt, and find a regular transfer case for this thing. So as you can see, we got the transfer case out here. That was just 5 15mm bolts. Wasn't too bad. It was kind of seized onto the splines of the drive shaft, so that took some effort to get it off, but we're gonna just keep working on getting things detached here and separated, And we found something kind of funny that I figured I'd show you guys. This alternator right here, held on by one bolt, crooked to the rest of the pulleys, and not even the right alternator. That's the kind of fun you get when you buy a mechanic special, I guess. I can't really dog on it too bad because I guess it worked, maybe. Probably 8 belts like no other. So we got these fuel lines removed. All the brackets holding the main wiring harness to the transmission are disconnected. And we got the 9 bolts out of the bell housing. And we got them where they came out of on a piece of cardboard so we can't mess that up. So we got the 3 bolts for the torque converter, which we access through the hole of the starter here. We're just about ready to pull the transmission now, and we'll see how that goes. We're hoping we'll just be able to manhandle it out with the 2 of us. But we're going to set up a ratchet strap underneath it as a safety backup measure. There we go. There we go. That's not so bad. Oh, it's draining already right into the bucket. Perfect. You got lucky there. Yeah, that wasn't so bad once we got it unwedged. Yeah, so before I started filming, Justin was wiggling it and it dropped off and landed on that strap that we had set as a safety backup. So that was a good thing. But as a result, it got wedged in between the strap, pushing it forward into this cross member here and the flywheel. So it seemed like it was going to be a lot heavier than it was once we got it moving.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
Wasn't too awful. So we're going to let the oil drain out of that. Okay. All right, we're ready to lower it down onto the engine stand. Oh,
that was a little fast.
Not very controlled there. Seemed to work out okay though.
Yeah, I think we're good there. Well, got the oil plug out. Looks like a bunch of metal on there. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
But yeah, that doesn't look good. Good thing we're planning on rebuilding it, but yeah, we'll see how bad it is inside. Alright, we got the motor out and all on the engine stand ready to take apart. And then the frame is ready to pull out of the garage and get all cleaned out.
Other than that, we'll start taking the accessories off the motor, getting access to start tearing into it. That's going to be it for this time. Stay tuned to see what a mess the inside of this motor might be next time.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Until next time, on Brothers Fab and Adventure.
Damn, who does that? That's not right.